It looks like the governor signed our new budget into law this week. According to ABC 7 Chicago, the $55.1 billion with a B dollar spending plan is set to take effect July 1st and is the largest in state history.
Wow.
It's also supported by $55.3 billion in anticipated revenue, including more than $700 million in new taxes and more than $500 million. Boy, the more numbers I read, the poorer I feel. And more than $500 million in one-time revenues. What's included in the bill? Very boring question, but hey, you asked, so I'll let you know. First off, the budget will not raise your personal income, corporate income, or sales taxes. But bad news for our lovable Illinoisan degenerates. Tobacco, vaping, and other nicotine products are increasing to 45% to raise $50 million. Wow. An existing telecommunications tax will also rise from 7% to 8.65% and raise $49 million to fund the statewide 988 hotline. I'm going to call it now. If we're paying for it, I'm going to call that thing like 8 times tonight. Never even heard of the thing. I'm paying for it. Ben, you can call it a few times tonight, all right? Tell me how it goes.
Okay.
The hell is this thing? And yes, a new tax on sports bets will charge betting sites 25 cents for the first $20 million or for the first 20 million wagers and 50 cents for each bet following that. Come on. Both FanDuel and DraftKings have both announced they will implement 50-cent transaction fees on Illinois customers in response to the tax. So there you go. Some wonky details about the budget. You're welcome, Dan Biss. Now, I heard he's listed these days. So I got to, got something there for him. All those numbers. He was, good Lord. Close the room, honey. I'm loving it. Ben, your thoughts here on this new budget? You said good as I was reading it. So tell me more. What do you
going to have a budget? Okay. Remember the days of Ron? We're not going to have a budget this time. I just like to point out that when Dennis said anticipated, that was a key word. Anticipated revenues, that was the word. The reality that means they're not sure they're coming. Okay, they're anticipating them coming. Okay, so I'm anticipating them anticipating all that money coming in is a little like me anticipating the championship that the Bulls will win next year. I am anticipating it. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I am anticipating it. All right, I love saying that. Like if you say anticipation 10 times really fast, after a while the word loses all meaning. You don't even know what it means. Anticipation. So in other words, like all budgets, it's a projection. And like all projections, it may not come true. Most likely it won't come true. In which case, we will be reading stories, headlines, or hearing stories. I don't know if there'll be any newspapers left, so I don't know where we'll be reading them about the state facing a pending crisis. This is reality and the situation we face in the state of Illinois because, drumroll, you know where I'm going, because we're too chicken or too weird or too demented or so too psyched out to impose a progressive income tax so that the wealthiest pay more. And I was just watching Noam Chomsky. I know you've cautioned me about watching Noam Chomsky videos on the internet. I know it. Ben, stop watching Noam Chomsky.
Oh, you're doing good. It was on a weeknight at least.
I know it was about
Saturday night. Noam Chomsky. Oh boy, this guy, tons of fun.
It was about a half hour ago. I hate to say it was right before you texted me. That's what I was literally doing before you texted me to say, come on, let's record this show. I was watching Chomsky. Folks, I've been watching Noam Chomsky since the 70s. All right. This guy's a genius, and it's easy to underestimate how smart he is because the way he talks. D, have you ever watched Taking a Deep Dive on Chomsky? Have you ever?
He invited me that one night, Saturday night, this guy. Hey, Dennis, come over. Let's watch Noam Chomsky. No thanks, dude. I'm, doing anything else.
It's hilarious. Don't worry, I won't send you any Noam Chomsky videos. I send Dennis Norm Macdonald videos, and then as soon as I send him, I go, oh, I think he sent this one to me already. So I am now sending him something he sent to me, and then he'll send me back ones. I got to admit, ladies and gentlemen, Dennis was the one who turned me on to Norm. I mean, I knew who he was, but I didn't realize how funny he was. Anyway, neither here nor there. And Noam Chomsky was giving this brilliant oration, which I know is repetitious because pretty much every oration he gives is brilliant, about how the people who get screwed in this country, the people without money, so they have no power. And then he talked about how that's you can see that in the way the powerful people use their power to keep the government from taxing them, which means all the little people who don't have power pay more in taxes. And yet the little people of Illinois, when given the opportunity to tax the wealthy at a higher rate so that perhaps they wouldn't pay as much, voted to protect the wealthy. This happened, fair tax. You know what I'm talking about. D&I, you were doing shows on a regular basis about it. So as a result, JB and the legislators, ooh, that sounds like a band. The JB and the legislators.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Wow.
That's a cool band name.
That is Chris Welch on bass. And Don Harmon on harmonica. Woo! Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
JB and the legislators. So they do things like raise the tax on gambling, and I could just hear my gambling friends. But I'm leaving Illinois. This is outrageous. Like, God, come on, dude. If you're gonna win $1 million, if you think you're gonna win $1 million, like Norm Macdonald said in that joke, then what do you care if you pay a quarter? What do you care? It's just $1 million, you know. So I think of all the taxes. I got so many friends who are going to be mad at me. All the taxes we impose because we're too chicken to tax the wealthy. The gambling tax, okay. Go ahead with it. Knock yourself out. So, yeah, this budget is stitched together. Yeah, this budget will probably come apart. Yeah, it's the same old stuff. But, who am I going to blame, ladies and gentlemen? You don't think I'm like one of those downtown Federation types? Ugh, I might have a pipe. Oh, yeah, we have to cut benefits that go to poor people because it's really irresponsible. I am taking the strong stand. Hey, why don't you take a stand against Trump? I'm sorry. That would be controversial and get me in trouble with my funders. Pipe. I don't know if any of them smoke a pipe. That's me pretending I smoke a pipe. So anyway, D, that's my response to the budget.
All right. Well, after signing the budget, the governor gave a press conference, and we're going to pause it right there because that brings us to our first Ben Joravsky Show Sports Bet. Now, if you've listened to the Ben Joravsky Show, you know it. We talk about it all the time. Ever since Donald Trump became our 47th president, our Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, every time the guy is asked a question, he can't help but verbally assault the president. So, Ben, what do you say we make a Ben Joravsky Show Sports Bet, huh, bud?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Now, Ben, with this J.B. Pritzker quote on signing the budget, I mean, something you could probably talk about, not mention Donald Trump whatsoever. Ben, this is where I need your gambling expertise, all right? What's the over-under of the governor trashing Donald Trump in the quote we're about to read?
0. Because he's going to trash him. And I hope he trashes him. Triple trash him. Trash, JB, trash. Ooh, that's another band. That'd be like a punk rock band. Trash, JB, trash. So, yes, he's going to trash him. There is no over. There is no under. It's, yes, he's going to trash him.
All right. I don't think that's how it works, but okay. There's no over. There's no under. 0. Let's read the quote from J.B. Pritzker. Place your bets, everybody. 0. Place your bets, listeners. All right. Get your bets in. Now, there could be, so if he does it, I mean, there's a good chance you can win the jackpot, right? If he does it.
Which is 10 cents right now, I think.
All right. Jackpot. There you go, guys. Hey, your family doesn't need to eat every day, right? Put all your money in. Bet on J.B. Pritzker, not. Bet on the under. Right? Is that what that is? I get so confused with sports betting.
Yeah, you don't want the explanation. Just it's not really like relates to this, but you know what? Just let's keep going with this. I like where we're going.
Will J.B. Pritzker verbally trashed Donald Trump in his quote about the budget? Here's the quote from Pritzker. Quote, while the Trump administration goes off on
Yeah.
Fox News, lying about being fiscally responsible. Illinois is showing a better way, balancing the budget while maintaining the programs that most people rely on. He trashed Trump.
He did. And let me just say this about the trash. Wait, is there any more to this before I start our rating?
That's it.
I have so much to say about this, but I'll try to be concise, D. I'm really realizing, the people who've studied our show and said, Ben, if you want to be the next Joe Rogan, you really have to be concise. I don't know. Joe Rogan shows are like 7 hours each, so I don't know what, whatever.
It's crazy.
It's great. Joey, go, Joe. So let me say this about that. First of all, Governor Pritzker, you're absolutely wrong. Donald Trump does not go on Fox TV and lie about bias, about how balanced and responsible his budget is. He makes no pretense that he has a responsible budget. They don't care. The only people who care about having a responsible government are Democrats in Illinois, because they're so afraid that some good government group, in quotes, D, notice the air quotes, in quotes, some good government group is going to criticize them. They're going to criticize Democrats for not being budget responsible while ignoring the budget irresponsibility of MAGA Republicans in Washington. Why? Because their funders are MAGA people. They don't want to insult them. So they want to pretend as though the only people who have to be responsible are Democrats. So, yeah, JB, I don't know why you said that Trump's pretending but has budget responsibility, because he doesn't. Now, in terms of trashing Trump, trash. I can't trash him enough. Okay. The days, by the way, D, I don't know if you saw this on Instagram. I have the feeling that I spend more time watching Instagram than you do. I feel that you,
I don't do Instagram.
Yeah, you're smart. I should emulate you. Not with the stupid Detroit hat, but with other things. Okay. But so they had Jesse Walters. You know who he is? You know who he is, right? Fox personality.
Oh, yeah. Jesse Waters.
What did I say? Walters?
Yeah.
I humbly apologize, Jesse, to you and your entire family. It's Water, not Walter. So he had some Democrat on, I don't even know who it was, and he was ripping Obama. Okay, he was like trashing Obama, who, by the way, hasn't been president since, let me do the math, damn, just like 2000. Hold on, Danny, I'm going to carry the one. 9 years, ripping Obama, okay? And then his guests, some Democrats, started ripping Trump. And then Waters goes, isn't it interesting that you Democrats can't go 1 second without ripping Trump? Now, usually when you have some Democrat on Fox TV, they get so nervous. I'm so scared. I don't know what to say. But I got to give this woman credit. She come, you just spent a half hour ripping Obama. And Jesse was like, so yes, rip, trash. Go ahead, JB. I don't know. It's like, dude, D, if you saw those National Guards in LA, you might be ripping Trump too, man. They're up there. It's insane. What would Joey say, Joe Rogan? It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm a big believer in trashing Trump. Not only because it's alliteration, because it's where we're at. And I'm happy to say that Gavin Newsom, D, we'll get it. I'm sure we're going to get into this in a little while with our other presidential news. Tease, suggest. Won't tell you what it is. But so I'll hold off until we get there about Gavin Newsom. So the floor is yours, Doctor.
Gavin Newsom. All right. Well, the governor also shared some disturbing news on Monday. And for this, we go to Fox 32's Parachutes. So, Ben, hold on to my vape. We're going to Paris, my man. Hold on. Oh, hey, my vape.
Oh, that's the Paris we're going to. Yes.
All right. We're in Paris. You owe me a vape.
Ooh, yeah, here you go. Let's get this coffee is good.
All right. No, we're not sports betting on this. This is serious. Okay. All right. Here's the headline from Parachutes. Pritzker reveals he was with Minnesota lawmakers hours before fatal shooting. Governor Pritzker said he was in Minnesota delivering a political speech alongside Governor Tim Walz just hours before. State Representative Melissa Hortman was fatally shot, and State Senator John Hoffman was wounded in what authorities say was a targeted attack by a man with a hit list. Pritzker also said he was informed by the FBI that the suspect, identified as Vance Bolter had compiled a list of elected officials, but the governor said he was not among those named, and there is no ongoing threat now that the suspect is in custody.
Yeah, really scary stuff, man. And I believe Congressman Raja was on the list, D, as well. Really scary times, very violent times. And I was thinking about this. We did a whole show. I just want to promote it a little bit, talking about, just recorded it. The war between Iran and Israel, and whether Trump will bomb Iran. He says he's going to wait 2 weeks to make his decision. And I just shout out Sarah Hogdusty was my guest. And we talked about this at great length. And the one part of Donald Trump's, what is it? How many years has he been president? I mean, if you count them together, whatever, his 5-year reign, is that he seems, how do I phrase this? He seems less attracted to foreign wars than most of his predecessors were. And so I note that. I appreciate that. I hope it stays the same. A little nervous that he's entertaining notions of bombing Iran. On the other hand, and I'm stealing this from Jon Stewart, so I always give credit, he seems to be encouraging a civil war in the United States. So no wars, foreign wars, but okay, let's have civil wars. And so there's just so much hatred out there, and there's just the reaction and the response to the shooting of the House Speaker in Minnesota and her husband, and the wounding of the Senate, the Democratic senator in Minnesota, has been so typically political. With Mike Lee of Utah saying, "Oh, it was Marxist." This is what happens when Marxists don't get their way. What a bizarre, weird, twisted thing to say. So yeah, there's so much anger and violence out there, D, and it is scary and frightening. And the fact that I don't know how many people were on that list. I've not seen the list, but it seems like the dude was just, how the hell did he get to Raja? Congressman Raja. Maybe I should reach out to Raja, bring him on the show, and talk about it. But yeah, scary times, D. A lot of violence out there, and we seem more appreciative of a civil war, I guess, than a foreign. Very weird times in America.